Remote residents, such as those in town camps and outstations around Elliott, are asking why they've been overlooked by a decade-long joint government housing program. The Northern Territory government admits the town has been forgotten, but won't say when it will remedy the situation. Jane Bardon reports from Elliott in the last of our series on the town's housing struggles.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
For Elliott local Chris Need, heading the Barkly Regional Council's housing maintenance team means working under constant stress. He continually has to explain to residents of the town's indigenous communities there isn't enough money to replace or upgrade their decrepit, overcrowded houses.
We've been told that there is no money for nothing.
And how does that make you feel?
Like lost, I suppose, left out. You don't want to be in Elliott anymore, I suppose, a place where you sort of grew up, you know.
A remote town halfway between Darwin and Alice Springs on the Stewart Highway, Elliott was left out of the Northern Territory and federal government's $1.7 billion 10-year remote housing programme, which concludes in 2018.
I think people forgot about Elliott once when the funding was rolled out.
The council team is provided with about $3,000 per house by the two governments for maintenance. It also uses small amounts of rent that residents pay for repairs.
The amount of maintenance that's needed in some of these houses, in pretty much all of these houses here, is way beyond that.
The Barkly Regional Council estimates 80% of the indigenous community houses in Elliott are beyond repair. It's warning the maintenance contributions being paid by both the Northern Territory government and residents aren't nearly enough to stop the houses deteriorating further.
Oh, it's third world. It's not. It's just not up to an acceptable standard.
In an ideal situation, what do you really think needs to happen here?
Oh, look, we just need 50 new houses. Full stop.
The Barkly Council has compiled a report calling on the Northern Territory and federal governments to take responsibility for Elliott's indigenous housing, particularly after child protection authorities ordered some residents to fix their houses as a condition of keeping their children.
The department, the local representative here in Elliott, has highlighted those things.
The Territory government says to upgrade Elliott's housing, it would first need to negotiate a lease of the Indigenous-owned land.
Once that's organised or dealt with, I think there's a fair chance that Elliott would get new housing.
But at this stage, the government doesn't have the money.
Most of that funding's committed, but hopefully Elliott will get something further down the track.
Is there any chance of anything before 2018?
Look, I will do my best and support the people of Elliott by speaking with the Minister for Indigenous Affairs.
The federal government has responded by saying the Territory is responsible for housing. But the Territory government will consider reconnecting water supplies to houses in Elliott's Mallinga community.
I will endeavour to make sure that people do get their mains or the water connected.
In all of Elliott's indigenous communities, residents say even if the two governments refuse to upgrade their houses or build new ones, they're not leaving. Jane Bardon, ABC News, Elliott.